Hello, this is Chris, your friendly neighborhood fitness man, and this is the Get Fit Now series. Take it easy. Alright, well today we're going to be talking about the most important relationship in your life. Now, a lot of times when people think about relationships, they first go to marriage, they go to dating, they go to family, but we're going to be talking about a different relationship in your life. It's actually the most important relationship in your entire life. It's going to set the tone for all of the other relationships in your life. Now, the reason why relationships are so important is because human beings are social creatures, alright? You remember the movie Castaway, when left alone too long, people start calling their volleyball their friend. So, we need human interaction. We need emotional support. This is part of our human health condition, all right? And to not address that, we'd be negligent in realizing what it is we truly need to be healthy and happy. All right, so relationships are an important part of our life on multiple levels. All right, so the question is, what relationship is it we're talking about? A lot of times people think it's your parents. The relationship with your parents is the most important relationship in your life. Or is it a relationship with a mentor or the people that you spend all your time with doing your profession? Because most of us spend a lot of time at work, so the people that we work with, it's going to determine a tone for our life. Although those are very good guesses, that's not where I'm going with this. The reality of it is the most important relationship in our lives is the relationship we have with ourselves. Okay, the reality is, I'm with my wife a lot. I'm with my kids a lot. I work a lot, right? But the one thing that I have in common in all three of those different places, the person that I'm with from the moment I open my eyes until the moment I close my eyes is myself. That's the person I'm with all the time, right? And now I'm gonna bring up a point as to how this all came to my attention is really because of a thing that my mom used to say to me all the time. And I can't even believe that I'm about to bring this up because she used to only say this to me when I was really not gonna be allowed to do something with somebody that I really wanted to go hang out with and do something with. She would always look at me and she would say, Christopher, bad association spoils good habits. Right, and I'd be nuked, okay? So I couldn't do what I was doing because this person obviously was bad association, and one of the things, as I got older, I came to grips with the reality that it wasn't bad association destroys good habits. It wasn't bad association demolishes good habits. It was bad association spoils good habits. And that's what really caught me, is that it's this subtle destruction of the things that are going on in you that were once good, that then somehow mysteriously became bad. And my mom was letting me know that if you don't associate with the right people or deal with them in the right way, then that association will spoil your good habits. Okay, so now that I've ensured that I'm gonna be invited to the next Thanksgiving feast at the family house, I'm gonna move on, all right? And we're gonna talk about the association, the relationship that you have with yourself and how that relationship lays the foundation for you to have either success in your life or to spoil you. We've now determined that sometimes there may be an association that you have within yourself, that relationship you have within you may be affecting your development up until this point, all right? So the question is, what do I do about that? What do I do with the relationship that I have within myself if it's not healthy, if it's not right, if it's not fit, if it's not the way it's supposed to be? What can I possibly do to change that relationship? When you're dealing with other people, you can choose to cut them off. When you're dealing with, other situations, you can say, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna do this because it's just for a brief moment in time. I can fake it till I make it for an hour, hour and a half, all right? I don't have to like you. We don't have to get along. We don't have to deal with anything other than me just getting through the next hour and a half, okay? But the relationship you have with yourself is a little bit more complicated because there's no breaks in that relationship. There's no timeouts. It's all the time. This was all revealed to me years ago when I was working in a program to help people realize their full potential. The program was called the Endless Summer Program, and I was working using health and wellness, fitness, to help them to realize that their lives can be extremely exciting and fun. Right through that program, using physical fitness, I showed them one of many ways that you can be your own best friend. I used to always say, hey, haven't you ever had that friend that, you'll be having a bad day, and you'll be thinking to yourself, man, things just aren't going right. And there's that friend that will always swing by your place with a stack of your favorite videos, with a bag of your favorite chips, ready to take you out to the beach to go do something that you didn't even think you wanted to do, but you were so glad that they came by to take you. Well, the reality of it is that you can do that for yourself every single day. The truth is that you can be there for yourself. You can lift yourself up. You can talk to yourself about the things that you want to do and how you want to do them, and really be there to emotionally support yourself in times of need. Okay, now, I'm not saying to do it in a crazy way. I'm not saying go walking around talking to yourself. You go, yeah, I can do it. I got it. Everything is good. I'm not saying that. But the reality of it is that in your mind, if you want to go verbal with it and sit in front of the mirror and talk to yourself, you can. But the reality of it is that those thoughts have power. And when you take the time to sit and talk with yourself, you're going to feel a difference, right? And then after you start doing that, you are going to become an asset to yourself on your life journey, right? So you won't be looking for external relationships or activities to be able to satisfy those needs. You'll be able to find them within yourself, and that'll enrich and nourish all of the relationships that you have in your life. And let me tell you why. When we don't have that support coming from within, when we're looking for all of these good feelings and support from the outside, then the reality of it is we put too much of a burden on those relationships and those activities, expecting them to be the be-all, end-all to everything going on in our life. And those things were never designed to give us true happiness. The happiness that we seek can only come from within, because the relationship that you have with yourself is going to be the relationship in your life that sets the tone for every other relationship you have in your life. All right, so let's break this down, right? Let's talk about how to really get fit in your relationship with yourself, right? Because this is the foundation for everything else. Anything else that you try to do, anything else that you're thinking of doing, is all going to stem from this one principle, because your motivations are all coming from this place. Your desire, your commitment, and what it is that you truly expect is coming from this as well, right? So this relationship with yourself is going to really be the foundation for everything else that we're going to be doing, right? So the time that you spend with yourself is extremely important. What to do, how to do it, I'll share that with you right now. All right, so to start, we're just going to keep it simple. Just take time to enjoy yourself. How many of us can actually sit there? Now, I know that because there were years ago, I went through a situation where I had a relationship in my life had ended. It was a bad ending to that relationship as well. And so what I did is I took some time off from relationships, and I realized I didn't know how to spend any time alone. Now, when I say alone, I mean sitting there by yourself, not inviting anybody over, not talking to anybody on the phone, not texting, not Facebooking, not watching YouTube videos, but dealing with you, just you, nothing else. And I realized that it was eerily quiet and I needed other people to interact with. It's very strange. All right, so I took a year and a half, a whole year and a half, and I went out to eat by myself. I went to go watch movies by myself, and then I developed a real relationship with myself. And one of the great things that happened after I had done that with myself is that I was then able to then make healthier choices when I did choose to hang out with somebody, because I didn't need to hang out with somebody, I could choose to. All right, but let's go a little bit deeper, right? The things that you tell yourself when you're by yourself is what makes that situation pleasant or unpleasant. All right, it makes sense, right? Because if you're sitting there alone with somebody and they're not talking to you, or all they're doing is saying, "Oh man, look at you. Look at you. You haven't even been to the gym. Look at you. I mean, this thing you did at work today. Oh my goodness, you messed it all up. Oh, look, your breath stinks. Oh my goodness, why don't you go brush your teeth? Oh my good, look at your hair. Okay, I don't have any hair, but you know what I mean, right? The whole thing, my chin fro. Yeah, look at that. Look at how that is. Oh, you got to get that all lined up. But the things you tell yourself, that conversation is going to set the tone for the relationship you have. You have to be kind. You have to be fun. There are great things happening in your life. You are somebody who has great experiences in your life. It's important that you share those things with yourself. Remind yourself about those things. Remind yourself about the good stuff that's happening in your life, and don't stay focused on the bad. And if there is something bad that's happening, remember how strong and powerful you truly are and how you can work your way through this. Now, after you've done all those things, if you've spent some time alone, talking to yourself, dealing with yourself, being able to have that kind of a calm, productive relationship with yourself, be sure to also journal, all right? Because there are going to come times in your life where you're not going to feel good. This is going to happen. But it's important that you write down and remember the times that you did feel good, so you can reflect back on those. Because in the middle of a bad moment, and there are some bad situations that come up in life, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm ignorant to that. A great way to get through those moments is to remember the good time. And sometimes when you can't mentally pull them out, bring them to your memory, it's really convenient to have them written down so you can look back and reflect on them. So have a separate book that you write down all your happy moments in, the times that you've spent with yourself, great movies that you enjoy, just fun things that you've done by yourself, with yourself, that you think will bring you back into the light when you're in a bad situation. All right, so in closing, one of the things I do want to bring to your attention is that there is a better time of day to actually do these things. As much as everybody might think, that walking around during the day, in the middle of your thing when something bad is happening, to address it at that moment, the best times to deal with these kinds of situations that are going on in your mind are first thing in the morning and the last thing before you go to bed. All right, so it's really a good idea to get into the habit of first thing when you wake up in the morning, if you need to set your alarm clock a little bit earlier so that you can give yourself 5 or 10 minutes just laying in bed, or if you want to do it in front of the mirror as you're brushing your teeth or combing your hair because you have hair, all right, then you can do that, and same thing before you're going to bed at night. Don't just turn off the TV and go straight to bed. Give yourself some time to decompress, reflect on the day, spend some time with yourself, going through your thoughts and thinking about things that actually uplift and nourish you before you go to sleep, right? Because the things that we think about when we first wake up in the morning sets the tone for the day, and the things that we think about right before we go to bed continue to play on in our subconscious mind for the rest of the evening. So it's really important that we focus on that. Now, the more you do this, the more comfortable you're going to get doing it. So I'm not saying that you're going to feel comfortable sitting down talking to yourself right away. Right? But just like any other relationship, the more you do it, the more you talk to the person, the more comfortable you're going to feel and the more natural it'll become. So enjoy the time you're going to be spending with yourself and understand that this relationship is going to be the doorway that invites love and abundance into your life. Right? So be excited about it. Be excited about spending some time with yourself. You're a lot of fun and you're going to prove that to yourself. Have a good time. Take yourself out. Go out for some, I was going to say ice cream, but you can't do that because that's not really what a good friend does. Well, if that's what you really enjoy, truly fine, that's fine. Every once in a while it's good. But just like a really good friend, take yourself out for something good. Or do something, go for a hike, right? Have a veggie shake. Yeah? Yeah, no, I know. I'm talking to myself right now because a lot of other people are not going to really relate to that. So, you know what? You've got to do what works for you. But the friendship that you're developing is going to be for the rest of your life. This is going to be the one person who will never leave you, the one person who will always be there. So be sure that you treat them right, okay? All right, and always remember, the power to change is within us all, right? You're destined to do great things. I'll see you next time on Get Fit Now.
Take it easy.